Welcome to the King of Racing YouTube channel, and here are my thoughts on the runners in the Travers Stakes at Saratoga. The number one is Midnight Bourbon, and Midnight Bourbon is ridden by Ricardo Santana Jr. and trained by Steven Asmussen. A colt out of Kentucky, Midnight Bourbon has brought in $474,000 and raced 6 times this year. One of those was the Kentucky Derby, coming in 6th place in that race, 2nd place in the Louisiana Derby on March 20th, and 2nd place in the Preakness Stakes, Grade 1 on May 15th at Pimlico. We had a do not finish at the Haskell Stakes. Midnight Bourbon was tripped and July 17th, so did not finish that race, so I'm going to not really look at that one. 2nd place at the Preakness Stakes, that's really impressive, right behind Rombauer, and then Kentucky Derby 6th place, Louisiana Derby 2nd place, and the Risen Star Stakes 3rd place. So I really like what I see out of Midnight Bourbon, and that Midnight Bourbon is going to be my 2nd selection for this race. Number 2 is the famous Essential Quality. Essential Quality is ridden by Luis Saez and trained by Brad Cox. Over $2 million in earnings in 2021 alone, over $3 million in career earnings from this horse. And most recently won the Jim Dandy Stakes Grade 2 at Saratoga. And then we have a win at the Belmont Stakes, Belmont Park, and then 4th place at Churchill Downs. And then before that, this horse had never lost. And so Essential Quality has only not won once in his entire career. He's 7 for 8. And the most recent race, Jim Dandy, that was at Saratoga, where this race at the Travers is going to be tomorrow. So I like to see that this horse is familiar with the track. Great record, 2 first places in a row. 4th place in the Kentucky Derby was pretty close there. Essential Quality is my pick to win the Travers Stakes. The number 3 is Keep Me in Mind. Keep Me in Mind has brought in $260,000 this year and $654,000 in his entire career. The jockey is Joel Rosario and the trainer is Robertino Diodoro. And 2nd place in the most recent race, Jim Dandy Stakes, Grade 2 at Saratoga. So this horse is at least a little familiar with this track, and that was right behind Essential Quality, which is definitely the favorite to win this race. 3rd place at the Ohio Derby, which is not as good as some of the other horses in this race that ran in that specific race at the Thistledown. However, I like to see the 2nd place of the Jim Dandy. That's what I'm really looking at here. And then, of course, 4th in the Preakness Stakes, 7th in the Kentucky Derby. So this horse has really good experience running in pretty big races. So Keep Me in Mind is going to be my 4th selection in this race. I think Keep Me in Mind is going to come in 4th place. Number 4, Dynamic One, has raced 5 times in 2021, bringing in $251,000, ridden by Red Ortiz Jr. and trained by Todd Pletcher. This horse most recently ran 1st place at the Curlin Stakes at Saratoga, so familiar with this track. I like to see that a little bit, but then 18th place at the Kentucky Derby. I do not like to see that, especially considering a lot of these horses in this race did in fact run in the Kentucky Derby. 2nd place at the Wood Memorial Stakes, but that was kind of a long time ago, back in April. So 18th at the Kentucky Derby, I don't like that at all. But 1st place at Saratoga most recently, that's pretty good. So Dynamic One is going to be my 5th selection in this race. He's going to come in 5th place. Number 5, Miles D, has the lowest earnings of any horse in this race. It's 2 times raced in 2021. And then trained by Chad Brown and ridden by Flavien Prat. Most recently came in 2nd place at the Curlin Stakes, so a little familiar with Saratoga and that racetrack. However, only raced twice before that, and those were both maiden special weights, 4th place and then a 1st place to finally get into the next category. And so 2nd place at the Curlin Stakes, this horse has not raced a lot. 1 2020 run and then 2 2021 ones. I'm not really liking, there's not enough experience from this horse for me to really make a good decision on how this horse is going to do. I'm just going to have to say 7th place for this horse. The competition that this horse is running against is not really as good as the other horses in this race. 2nd place at the Curlin Stakes isn't bad, but then again, we have the winner in this race, so that I just talked about. So I got to say 7th place for Miles D. Number 6 is Masqueparade. Masqueparade is ridden by Miguel Mena and trained by Albert Stahl Jr. $491,000 this year, 6 starts. And most recently, 3rd place at the Jim Dandy Stakes. So this horse had been running in maiden special weight and allowance optional claiming on the Kentucky Derby. They won that race, 1st place. And so lower level kind of races, and then bumped up to the Grade 3 Ohio Derby at Thistledown. 1st place there. So that's definitely doing better than a lot of the horses in this race. We have a 2nd place finisher in this race. We have a 3rd place finisher from that race in this race. And then the Jim Dandy Stakes, 3rd place there, but racing along the side of Essential Quality and some of these other really good horses that are running again in this race. So 3rd place there, not so bad. I really like the Ohio Derby and how much money that horse won in that one. So I'm going to have to say Masqueparade is my third selection for this race. Number 7 is King Fury, ridden by Jose Ortiz and trained by Kenneth McPeak. Brought in $220,000 in 3 starts this year. 10th place at the Saratoga Derby on August 7th at Saratoga. I don't like to see that whatsoever. That's the same track we're running the Travers Stakes at. 10th place, that's a lot of horses coming in front of you. I don't like to see that. But second place at the Ohio Derby, right behind the horse we just talked about at Thistledown. And then first place in the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland. But that was all the way in April, and 10th place at Saratoga Derby. I don't like to see that. A little bit of a slow race from this horse. So I got to say, King Fury is my 6th selection in this race. 6th place for King Fury. So 7th place, Miles D. 6th place, King Fury. 5th place, Dynamic One. 4th place, Keep Me in Mind. 3rd place, Masqueparade. 2nd place, Midnight Bourbon. And 1st place, the winner, Essential Quality, are my selections for this race. Thank you for watching this video, and I ask that you please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment down below. Thank you.